Welcome to Pain in the Grass, the official Lawn Pride podcast, where we dig deep into the real problems hiding in your yard. From weeds to grubs to mystery brown spots, we've got the dirt. Let's grow better together.
Welcome to the deep dive. So this week, the calendar has just flipped into full-on holiday chaos mode.
Oh, absolutely.
You're probably thinking about, travel, who's deep frying the turkey.
Where to put that extra leaf in the dining table.
Exactly. But while everyone's focused on what's happening above ground, we're going to drill down into what's happening right beneath your feet. We're talking about your lawn.
Exactly. This is it. I mean, for most people, especially if you're dealing with cool season grasses, this is the absolute final countdown for lawn prep.
So if you drop the ball now,
If you neglect these specific Thanksgiving week tasks, you're essentially setting the stage for a patchy, diseased lawn come springtime.
that sounds like an expensive mistake waiting to happen. Our mission today, then, is to give you a really high-impact, actionable checklist.
Right. We're boiling it down to the critical must-dos, the why behind them, and maybe most importantly, the big mistakes you have to avoid this week.
All to make sure your turf wakes up healthy and green next spring.
So let's start with some context. What's actually happening to your grass right now?
Because it really depends on where you are.
Entirely. If you're in the northern half of the country, the classic lawn belt, you've got cool season grasses.
So that's your Kentucky bluegrass, fescue, ryegrass.
Exactly. And right now, they are deep into their prep for winter. They're either going dormant or they're already there.
We call it a winter nap, but it sounds like it's more active than that.
It's way more active. It's a very sophisticated survival strategy. They've stopped all top growth, so the blades aren't getting any taller.
Okay.
And instead, all that energy, all the food they made during the fall, is being pushed down and stored in the root system.
And what about down south, or in the transition zones?
Well, if you have warm season grass Bermuda, Zoysia, St. Augustine, you're probably looking at a tan, kind of straw-colored lawn.
Which is normal for them.
Totally normal. This is the crucial distinction we have to make. We are dealing with dormant grass, not dead grass.
Right, that's a huge difference.
A dormant plant is incredibly resilient. It's just putting all its effort into keeping the roots alive. The biggest danger is us messing that up.
That really changes the perspective. It's not just a chore, it's like a final investment in next year's lawn.
It is.
So let's start with the most critical physical task.
Yeah.
The final cut.
The final mow. This one is non-negotiable, especially if you get snow cover.
And we're actually going against the standard summer rule here, right? We're going shorter.
We are. The goal is to cut that cool season grass just a bit shorter than your normal height.
How short are we talking?
You're aiming for that sweet spot, around 2 to 2.5 inches.
It feels so counterintuitive. All summer we're told don't cut too short, so why the change now?
That's a great question. All summer, the goal is to protect active growth and photosynthesis. Now, the goal shifts completely to disease prevention.
Oh.
If the blades are too long, say 4 inches, they just fold over under the weight of snow or even heavy frost.
And when they fold over, they create a little pocket.
Exactly. An airtight, humid pocket right at the soil line, right where the crown of the plant is.
And that's a perfect breeding ground for disease.
It's a perfect lab for fungal diseases. The big one is snow mold. And snow mold doesn't even need snow to start, just cold, wet, matted grass.
So that shorter height lets air get in.
It lets air get to the crown and prevents that fatal moisture buildup.
So we aim for short, but we have to avoid scalping. What's the line there?
Scalping is when you cut it so low, you expose the crown, the vulnerable part of the plant. If you go below 2 inches, you're taking away its protective layer. You still want a little cushion there to protect the roots from the cold.
Got it. Precision is key. Okay, next up, the other huge chore, leaves. I know so many people want to put this off.
Don't. This is a suffocation warning. A thick layer of leaves is basically a wet, heavy blanket.
It's blocking all the light.
It's blocking light, it's trapping a ton of moisture, and it's creating a perfect home for pests. And you guessed it, those disease spores we just talked about.
You've got to get them off. So what's the best way? Mulch mowing? Or are we talking raking and bagging?
Mulch mowing is always the best option, if you can. It returns all those nutrients to the soil.
But there's a rule.
A hard rule for late fall. The leaves have to be shredded into dime-sized pieces, and this is the important part, you have to be able to see the grass blades through the shredded leaves.
So if it looks like a thick carpet of mulch?
You have to rake or bag the excess.
Huh.
That thicker layer will absolutely cause problems.
Okay, let's talk about the lawn's final meal, the winterizer fertilizer. For cool season grass, is Thanksgiving too late?
For most of the northern region, the ideal window was probably late October or early November.
Why then?
Because you want the ground to be soft enough for the fertilizer to get in, but the air cold enough that it doesn't trigger new blade growth.
So if I miss that window, should I even bother now?
You need to check the ground. If it's already frozen solid, it's too late. Applying fertilizer now is just a waste of money. It can't be absorbed, and it'll just wash away.
Contributing to runoff?
Exactly. If you miss it, just make a note for next year.
But if the ground is still soft, what am I looking for in that fertilizer blend?
You want a blend that's heavy in two things. First, high nitrogen, or N.
Not for top growth now, though.
No, this is purely for energy storage in the roots. It's the fuel for that big green up in the spring. And second, you want good levels of potassium K.
What does potassium do?
Think of it as the plant's internal antifreeze. It's critical for cold hardiness. It helps regulate water inside the root cells and makes them much more resilient to freezing.
So it's like putting gas in the tank and adding engine coolant at the same time.
That's a perfect analogy. That's exactly what it is.
Okay, sticking with water. People assume since it's cold, you don't need to water anymore.
Not true. Until that ground freezes solid, the lawn still needs about an inch of water a week, either from you or from rain.
Why is that so important?
A hydrated lawn is a healthy lawn. If it goes into winter, stressed from being too dry, it's much more vulnerable to damage from cold, dry winds.
And what if we have a really dry winter? No snow, no rain for a long time.
Good question. If you go, say, 4 to 6 weeks without any moisture, you might need to give it a deep watering.
When would you do that?
You have to pick a day when the air temp is safely above freezing, maybe 40 degrees Fahrenheit or warmer, and the sun is out. A dry winter can really cause patchy recovery in the spring.
Okay, this is where it gets really interesting for me. Thanksgiving is the ultimate high-traffic holiday. You've got family over, maybe a football game.
The dreaded overflow parking on the lawn.
Yes. So what is the cardinal rule for foot traffic this week?
The cardinal rule is simple. Stay off frozen or frosted grass.
Why?
When those grass blades freeze, the water inside them crystallizes. They become rigid and brittle. If you walk on them,
They just snap.
they snap. And that damage, those bruised cells, won't heal until spring. You'll see your footprints as dead patches in April. Just wait for the frost to melt.
Okay, so what if the ground isn't frozen? What's the difference between walking on a dry lawn versus a wet, soggy one?
Oh, it's a huge difference. Dormant, dry soil is pretty sturdy. But wet, soggy soil is the real danger zone.
Because of compaction?
Instant compaction. Every footstep squeezes the air and water out of the soil. It damages the roots, and you're guaranteed to have ruts and dead spots in the spring.
So if your yard is wet, the best strategy is to move the game to the driveway.
Move it to the driveway, or pick the driest, sturdiest part of the yard and make that the play zone.
And we have to talk about the turkey fryer.
Yes, if you deep fry a turkey, that has to be done on concrete or asphalt, never on the grass.
Hot oil is an instant kill.
An instant, permanent dead spot. Keep all that grease and kitchen waste far, far away from the turf.
What about cars? Sometimes you just have nowhere else to put them.
If you absolutely have to park on a lawn, try to have everyone park in the same spots. Spreading it out is actually worse if the ground is soft. Repetitive tracking is what creates the deep ruts.
Good to know. Okay, let's quickly cover what's too late. What are the big tasks we should absolutely not be doing right now?
2 big ones. By Thanksgiving, the window for both aeration and overseeding is completely closed.
Why is aeration too late? It's just punching holes in the dirt.
But it's about timing. You need to aerate when the grass is still actively growing, back in September or early October.
So it has time to heal.
Right. It needs time to grow new roots into that loosened soil before the cold hits. Now, the ground is too hard, and the grass has zero ability to recover from that damage.
And overseeding, I'm guessing that's a soil temperature thing.
Exactly. Grass seed needs sustained soil temps between 50 and 65 degrees to germinate. Air temperature doesn't matter.
So any seed you put down now is...
It's just an expensive meal for the birds. It's not going to grow. You just have to mark your calendar for next September.
What about chemicals, like a pre-emergent for weeds?
Don't bother. A pre-emergent stops seeds like crabgrass from sprouting in the spring. But the trigger for those weeds is when the soil warms up to 55 degrees.
In the spring.
Right. If you apply it now, the chemical barrier will break down long before the weeds even think about growing. Save your money.
So instead of trying to cram in tasks, we should be using this time to observe.
Yes. Document problems. If you see standing water in one spot after it rains, don't just forget about it. Take a photo, make a note, so you can fix that grading issue next spring.
Great advice. Okay, before we all go inside for the winter, we have to talk about our equipment.
Putting the tools to bed. And the #1 priority is the mower.
Fuel.
Fuel management. Ethanol-based fuel will absolutely gum up a carburetor if it sits for months.
So you have two options.
You either drain the tank completely dry, or you add a quality fuel stabilizer.
And if you use a stabilizer,
You have to run the engine for about 5 minutes to make sure that stabilized fuel gets through the whole system. If you skip this, you're looking at a costly repair in April.
what else for the mower?
Clean the deck, scrape all those wet clippings off to prevent rust, and critically, sharpen or replace the blade now.
Do it now, not in the spring rush.
Exactly. You want a clean, sharp blade ready to go for that first cut. A dull blade rips the grass and invites disease.
And what about the water system? This seems like the most expensive mistake to make.
It is the most costly and painful repair. You absolutely must disconnect all your hoses from the outdoor spigots
Immediately.
And if you have an in-ground irrigation system, it has to be professionally blown out, drained of all water.
Because any water left in there will freeze.
It will freeze, expand, and crack your pipes. It is a nightmare to fix in the spring.
Okay, we've covered all the serious chores. Since it's Thanksgiving, let's talk about what we can be grateful for. A healthy lawn is more than just green space, isn't it?
It's a huge environmental asset. A healthy lawn is a natural air filter. It's pulling carbon dioxide out of the air and releasing oxygen.
How much oxygen are we talking?
A well-maintained 50 by 50-foot lawn can actually produce enough oxygen for a family of 4.
I had no idea the numbers were that high. And it's also a temperature regulator.
A remarkable one. On a hot summer day, a healthy lawn can be up to 30 degrees cooler than the asphalt driveway right next to it. It reduces that heat island effect around your home.
And it protects our waterways.
It's an essential part of the ecosystem. The root system prevents erosion, and the turf itself acts like a natural sponge, filtering rainwater.
Slowing down that runoff.
Exactly. It reduces the pollutants that get into our storm drains. And, beyond all that, green spaces are proven to reduce stress and improve our mood. So it's working for your mental health, too.
That's a powerful thing to remember when you're raking that last pile of leaves. Okay, let's recap the 4 most essential takeaways for this week.
First, that final precision mow. Get it down to 2 to 2.5 inches to prevent snow mold.
Second, clear those leaves to stop suffocation and disease.
Third, if the ground's not frozen, get that winterizer down, that high nitrogen, high potassium blend to fuel the roots.
And fourth, winterize your equipment, especially draining and blowing out any and all outdoor water systems.
Get those done and you're in great shape.
That list will set you up for success. Give your lawn the rest it deserves. And here's a final thought for you to explore as you relax this week. Given how easy it is to miss the window for aeration or forget exactly where those drainage problems are, what's a simple documentation step you can do right now to guarantee success in the spring? Maybe take a few pictures on your phone of those soggy spots, or even use some cheap garden flags to mark the areas where water always stands. That simple act of note-taking now will be an invaluable map when you're ready to fix those problems next year.
Now that is planning ahead. You've earned that turkey.
Thank you for taking this deep dive with us. We'll catch you next time.
Thank you for listening to the Pain in the Grass podcast, sponsored by Lawn Pride of North Charlotte, Huntersville, your go-to name in turf care for homeowners and businesses seeking beauty, quality, and reliability, powered by family and fueled by passion. Until next time, make sure to take care of that pain in the grass.